Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. We are working on getting Ulrics today, and we're gonna go head over to the home base to get our first... Whoa, that lag when you open the map. What is that about? Has anyone figured it out? Has anyone figured it out? I don't even know. It's a huge spike when I load into a game and then I open a map and try to move it around. And then it goes away, mostly. Weird. Weird for sure. Anyway, someone else had said they experienced it too, but I haven't heard anybody say about why it's happening. So someone laughed at me for this, which was putting a pump jack next to water when we could have placed a a water pump. Whatever, you know, it's fine. Pump jacks are basically free, so I'm not worried about it. I do need to craft more though. In that sense, they're not free, but they're also cheap enough that I'm not worried about it. There is an irony there, I agree, but it certainly doesn't affect the base. But what I do need is more of all the goodies. Actually, I'm good on belts. Power poles? Yeah, okay, good on that. Probably not iron. Yep, always need more iron. Here we go. Duralumin, steel. Okay, maybe a few small parts. I've gotten a question a time or two about why don't I use bots, because I have logistics bots now, and the main reason is that I'm moving like potentially thousands of items right here, and they're not all in the same spot. If I had all the chests like in a little block and I stood in the middle of it, bots would fill me up pretty fast. But with how spread out all this stuff is, if I were to stand like right here and try to let bots bring it all to me, I'd be standing here for like 3+ minutes, and even with a lot of bots, and I only have 60 logistics bots right now, so that would take like 10 minutes. Definitely not worth it. At some point I will probably start using more bots, and I'll just run into the middle of everything, turn on my personal logistics, let them fill me up, then turn it off again. But we're not ready for that yet. Definitely not ready. Anyway, what am I doing? So we're working on Ulric DNA thingy-majiggers, which is going to be expensive in terms of circuits. Do we have circuits these days? How are we doing with these? I might need to increase circuit production, actually. Ugh, yeah. That's a little bit scary. Our production versus consumption has been negative over the last 10 hours, which is not good. They are backing up as of right now, though, so that's good, but I'm about to ruin that. All right, so I need some Ulrics. How many do I need? This is the important part to look into. So one codex is used in... See, I miss having the recipe show up here. So here, I go to Ulric Codex, then I have to go to products, then I have to go to horse DNA sample. I think when we were in the other mode for... Let me just test this out, because I still don't feel like I have a grasp on what exactly it's doing to me. When we had all selected, then the path looked like... I'm looking at Ulric Codex, and it shows me the used in. See, I really, really, really like this a lot better, because I can see the recipe and the used in together. When we had the other setting, we didn't have that. So it just requires more clicks. Yeah. Oh, see, I don't like that. Oh, no. Maybe I'll pester Ragard again to ask if he can add a way, because remember, the reason I changed it is because there are some issues with some recipes where the default recipe that's shown here is disabled, but it doesn't show you that. So like you have to look in the tech tree basically to see if you can even use this recipe. Because it'll show you these ones when they're red, but it won't show you if this one is red. Like if I were to look up something fancy like advanced, or what are they called? Complex circuit board. I guess it shows us red right here. Oh, what was the thing we were looking at though? Was it Fuoji? It was Fuoji. But this one doesn't show as red. Oh, that's the issue. So... interesting. Okay. So maybe it's actually a bug that locked recipes don't show as red. Because this recipe is definitely... or is it a turd recipe? Maybe it wasn't Fuoji that this happened with. No, that's not a turd recipe. It doesn't say anything about turd on it. When you're looking at a turd recipe, it says this. Yeah, I'm really curious what this is. It could be that pyanodon's itself has it tagged incorrectly. Because this recipe doesn't exist. But it does. Something's funky here. Anyway, I'll just have to be careful. I hope it doesn't show up and bite me in the butt too many times. Because I think I just really prefer this method where you can see the recipe and see the used in the same window. Because it saves me a lot of clicks. Anyway, the horse DNA samples... need 5, and I need 2 Ulrics, or more. How do I make the cubs? The cubs just, yeah, I just need 2 Ulrics. So that means I need 11, or what, 11, 12 Ulric codices. Means more lamps. Give them the clamps. The lamps. Alright, there's 2. And then let me grab some more tinned cable, which is over here somewhere. Hey, do you guys think I have enough tinned cable now? Awesome. I like to see that. And then... oh, those didn't use circuits? Oh, sweet. Cool. Alright, what else do we need? So we need that. We need the horse DNA samples, which are only a few automation packs. I only need 2 of those. And then 8 poor alien samples and 6 cDNA. That's it. Easy peasy. 6 cDNA. Done. 8 poor alien samples. The poor little alien samples. Pobrecito. Where are they though? There. Done. What? Why do I... why did I have 100 of those in my inventory? When did I get 100 of these? What on earth? I don't remember grabbing 100 and running around with them for no reason. I do not remember doing that. How did I have 100 extra in my inventory? That's really weird. And I need 30 automation science marks? I'll just put more over here. I think I grabbed a bunch last time. Yeah, we've got some extra. Cool. All right, so you're switching over to Ulric. Wait, what? What is going on here? Oh, I very much clicked the wrong button. What did I click? Oh, I clicked the recipe button, not the change recipe button. That'll do it. Okay. And then I need some generic Earth DNA samples. Just a couple. And then we switch over the creature factory to make Ulrics. Put in those and those. We need 20. Two of these, 20 biosamples. Didn't mean to do that. No! And we are good to go. Alright, sweet. Ulric DNA splicing is in effect. And that will be done soon. Okay. What's next? Ulric's on trains, and then Cotton Guts on trains. Oh, barf. Okay, barf. We'll need a bunch of Prandium labs. I forget, do we need repro complexes for Cotton Guts, or no? We do. Yeah, the pups need to grow up. No, we need to produce pups in a repro complex. Okay, so then Cotton Guts. It's a pretty simple cycle. It just requires a lot of Ralasia. And the ratio of repro to Prandium is pretty crazy here. If we go 46.875 times 12. Okay, it's not 1 to 12. What is it then? 11. It's something in between 10 and 11, it seems. Yeah, that's actually odd. They often are in some sort of perfect ratio, but not in this case. Okay. So we get about 10 each. I probably need to do more than that for capacity. No, I'll just start with this. I want to make these in such a way that I can increase it later. I think that's important, but this isn't too hard to set up. In fact, this should be easy to set up. I just need to put moondrops on trains. And then we're basically done. Move you down. Well, actually, no, that needs to be first. At least in terms of ingredients. I don't have to build it first, but... So I need a bunch more glass. I still haven't improved my glass making. I wonder, it's probably keeping up. I'm just choosing to not worry about it. Maybe that's the wrong choice. God, we're already at 126 hours. Holy crap. Oops, that's maybe a bit much. Prandium, 2 more, then we need more M's, IMs. And then 3 more. And then some more iron. Probably some aluminum, actually. Uh-oh. Wait. No, we're okay. Okay. Lacking some lamps. Cool. And then repro complexes require a lot of crap. Steel, iron. And now we're out of stone and TI. Wait, did I have Exactsies on titanium? That's really weird. I guess these cost 100 exactly. Okay, never mind. That's less weird now that I look at the number. And yeah, stone brick. Thankfully, I have set up over here. Should have done that a long time ago. It's very nice to be able to grab it without having to run a mile for it. That's looking good. Did we get the Ulric? Oops. First Ulric award? We're about to, right? I think the first Ulric award will happen before we get there. Damn. I wasn't even close. It just started. We got the first horse DNA award just about now. So that's still gonna take 5 minutes. Yep. Okay. We'll come back for that. And moondrops. Moondrops keep falling on my head. I don't know how to not sing that every time. I apologize if you're tired of it. Now, I've been making separate things for plants and one big thing for animals. This cannot be. I'm going to be consistent here, and we're gonna make one big thing for plants as well. It's gonna be next to the augs. So then this needs to go into its own Fawogi situation here. And then we need to add a moondrop situation. When do I get moondrops too, actually? Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm imagining it's not that far ahead. We need fertilizer and then actually a lot of other stuff. What's up with that? Is it because of what fertilizer needs? No, because we need biotechnology stage 2, but we don't actually need any of the biotechnology. Oh, I see. Moondrop Mark 2 needs Decalin. That's what it's for. All right. Well, we were researching. Researching? Did I just say sorching? That's a new word. I don't think I've ever said that word before. Researching towards arcads. So let's get that finished. Gravel distillation. What an interesting... Oh, and someone pointed out we do have a way... I actually should research this, I think, because I think this is how we're going to get our first honey. I don't have to use the tuphra. The tuphra is a way to make the sweet syrup into sugar and the sugar into... something. How do we get the first honeycomb? The wax. It was in my head. Sorry, I'll get it. It's this. You can make an empty comb with this, and then instead of having wax, so you can make your first empty combs just with normal ingredients. We can get all of this easily enough. And I'd probably just make them manually. And then to fill the comb, you can do this. And then you have a filled comb, but we do need our first arcads, but we can get our first arcads just the normal way with some coke oven gas. So that's not tricky either. So that's all actually good to go. And then the filled comb, we can turn into bitumen to get a used comb, and then the used comb we can melt down into wax. So I don't actually need the Ulric honeycomb reproduction situation to get our first ones. I had thought we did. I thought we were gonna need... What did I think we were gonna... I thought we were gonna have to do this one, I think. Yeah, whatever. I don't remember what I was thinking, but I had thought initially we were going to need the syrup barrels to make the arcade nest. Yeah, I think that was my original plan. But we don't need to do that necessarily. So we can get Arcat honey going without Tufra, is the point I'm making now. Anyway, moondrops go into their own doodad, and those go into their own doodad. And then let's just say 2 a second. Wow, that's kind of insane, actually. Maybe we'll do 1 a second. Moondrops are not fast at this stage of the game. And the other thing we need to determine... Oof, we lose a decent amount to 0.8 maybe? How much were those cotton guts costing me though, moondrop-wise? They're munching on 0.36 a second. So... I actually need... 0.8 is okay. I'll do 0.8 for now. This is a pretty big build, but it'll be really simple. That's the nice part about this. I also realized I could do the moondrop turd at this point, and I'm opting not to. And what I was gonna look at is, do moondrop seeds, are they used in anything else? Cobalt enriched moondrop flower, not really. They're used to make methane. But I think if I want to start doing this, I will do this in the same spot. In the same block. And maybe I just should do that. Why don't I just do that at the same time? Unless there's another good way to make methane that I don't know about. Well, it's definitely the way that I have for now. So why don't I import some biomass? I will add a second botanical nursery. So this will be the same type of situation where that way, if we are producing methane, like, it won't be able to make both at the full rate at the same time, but it can produce one of them at the full rate. Like if I was doing 40 methane but 0 moondrops. Wait, what? That's not adding up. Oh, there we go. So 40 methane I can get from exactly 1 botanical nursery running things. Okay, that feels about right, actually. And then we'll also get the 0.8, but we're not going to do both at the same time. So I need 46. I like to be divisible by 4 usually, so I'll probably do 48 and 2. Oh, that's a lot of moondrop facilities. Thankfully, that's all I need. I guess I need the CO2 maker. But those are pretty fast, right? There's the first Ulric. Yeah, I only need 1 high pressure furnace. That's like total joke. Okay, so should I just import CO2 though? Should I just put CO2 on trains? Maybe. Like, biomass is certainly denser, but it also takes a step and belting of stuff. When I feel like it might be nice to just pipe CO2 directly into my veins, as it were. Anyway, I'm ignoring that for a moment. For now, let's look at what it's going to cost to make 48 of these. A lot of glass. Again. We're just gonna eat all the glass. And we'll grab our first Ulric. And we'll see if... I feel like I checked this once already this playthrough. And I already forget the results. If the animals are asexual or not. I think they're not. But for whatever reason, I can't remember. Oops, don't mind that. That would be a very bad idea. Okay, now we're out of small parts. Okay, we're up to 24. You know what? That's not a bad start. Maybe I'll just start with 24. And I'll do the 2 of these. And I'll do the HPF. And... actually, I'll do a few HPFs. We're going to do CO2 production somewhere else. I'm just going to move CO2 on trains. I think it's simpler. We use it in so many places. But how many more? I should do the math on this. Because how much denser is biomass? It's 100 per slot. And biomass to CO2 gives us 3,000. So it's 3,000 CO2 per slot. Times 20 slots is 60,000 CO2. Versus a fluid wagon, which carries 25,000. So it's about half. I think that's an acceptable trade-off. Trains will show up twice as often, but with 0 extra buildings needed, and 0 belting needed, and 0 loaders needed, just regular pump and all that jazz. I think for me that's worth it. If it was like 10 times the density, I might consider that not being worth it. But for this, I think we're gonna say it's fine. So I will set up somewhere importing biomass and exporting CO2. And the best part is we can have a trash CO2 network that way. Which wouldn't be the case if we were requesting biomass everywhere we needed CO2. Because I think CO2 is a byproduct of quite a few things. Is that accurate? Yes, that is actually quite accurate. So, yeah, I guess we had to put CO2 on trains eventually. Okay, can you run with just one module? It is acting like it can. How do we not have power? Oh, these poles just aren't... Wait, what's going on? There we go. Okay, they can. They are asexual. I don't know why I thought we needed 2. I mean, I know why I thought we needed 2. There's a lot of common sense that's telling me we needed 2, but I guess that's not how pyanimals work. Panimals are self-reproducing, but I guess they like to have a friend anyway. Man, I've been watching, so here's my random plug of the day. I've been watching a lot of the, I guess it's pronounced Zay Frank, but I always said it's Z Frank on YouTube. He does these absolutely hilarious but incredibly informative nature documentary videos that honestly they're really informative. It's not just a joke. He was well known for the mantis shrimp video. I think that one went kind of viral. But he's done a million others since then, and he like disappeared for a long time, but then he came back and started doing a lot more. So I've been watching a lot of those videos, and so I'm actually well aware there are an insane amount of asexual or even animals that, well, I don't know if animal is the right word, but creatures that change their sex partway through life in the ocean. The ocean has a lot of crazy stuff going on when it comes to reproduction. We tend to think of, you know, the animal kingdom, and they are pretty standard. But the undersea kingdom, they are not standard when it comes to reproduction. I mean, there are things that are cloning themselves and cutting parts of themselves off to create new ones. There are things that, you know, you reproduce internally and then spit out full-grown babies already. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts. Anyway, all that to say, no space for car. I'm not trying to get in the car, dude. All right, so we'll get Ulrics finished out here, and then I guess I didn't need 2 of them. I guess that could explain why we need 5 codices, because with flowers, you often need quite a few, because you need to make seeds too. But with animals, you really only needed 1 to kickstart the entire process, when I think about it that way. So that makes me feel a little bit like, I feel like I understand more why it was the way it was. Is there a chunk border here? Why are these not taking turns? Oh, I think it's just how the timing worked out. I think they were taking turns at first. But that one's just moving stuff while this inserter's not ready to go, so I think that's what's happening. Anyway, this is not that long of a recipe, so I really only needed 1 Ulric. Oh, I guess I needed 1 more to get this started, so having 2 is going to kickstart this process twice as fast. Because this is going to take... Even this is not that long of a process. Because even with only 1 Ulric... Yeah, these default to 22%. So we get 44%, which is only like a 5-minute recipe. Yeah, Ulrics, I really didn't need 2 of them. I could have kickstarted with 1. Oh well. I wasted some... What did I waste? I wasted some circuits and some tin cable. None of it is that expensive, to be honest. These are pretty cheap. They're not 50 circuit boards each. It kind of canceled out. They're only 10 each. So it wasn't that expensive, so I guess I'll say it was worth it, because now this is going to spin up faster. The exponential growth begins sooner. All right, let's do our standard appreciate the new animal phase. Aw, look at them go. What are they? They are lizard horses? I think I'm going to call them lizard horses. What are they described as? Do they have a definition? No, I don't think they have a description. Peaceful horse-like GMO animals. Okay, that's the description of the tech. Peaceful horse-like GMO animals. Genetically modified organism animals? That's kind of a weird... Wouldn't that just make them GMAs? If you think about it. Okay, let's set up our CO2. Where do we want to set up CO2? I feel like it could make sense to set up CO2 over here where the biomass already is anyway. No, we need to request it on trains somewhere. Let's try... Okay, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to design the different styles. Though, there's a lot of combinations. Because there's Request, provide, multi-provide. And then there's going each direction with that. So that's 6 combinations. Yeah, screw it. Let's do it. All right. Screw it. Let's do it. That even rhymes. That's how you know you're onto a good idea, is when it rhymes. Like, it's just proof. 2, 3, 4. Am I leaving enough space? I don't think I am. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then, because what I want to do is this part of it. So like that. Oh no, there's 12. 3 station types, 2 directions. Nope, there's still only 6. I double counted. Okay, so we have 2 for the basic request. Three, 4. I just want to be able to paste down a station and already have. What am I doing? Guys. I only needed 2 of those. And I didn't even start at the far left. I don't know what's going on with me. All right, okay. So that's the basic requester. On channel 3, request threshold is 20 by default. That's probably fine. Stack thresholds, request only. It's called something R. Train limits 2. Everything's good to go. We've already looked at all that. And now we want one version that's extracting this way. Now that's inputting. You know what? I should use that hotkey that we turned into something else. Was it Control O? Nope, that's the Steam overlay. That's not what we want. Okay, there we go. And then I probably should split filters per lane and have it filtered by default. That's really annoying. I can't see the filters. Makes me want to put this here. But then I won't be able to see the filters the other direction. No way to make Krydax happy. Because then I can't expand the chest if I put it here. If I put it here, it doesn't reach that one. Put it here, it's in the way of more loaders. That's actually probably the most convenient though. Oh, but if I change it there, I have to change it everywhere. It's probably for the best. I've noticed these power poles getting in my way a bunch of times. So this is probably for the best. The one by the train station, though, is kind of annoying because it does have to be next to the train station. But yeah, let's do it that way. In front of loader, behind loader, next to the front of the station. So there, yeah, right next to the train tracks. And there. There, and there. There, and there. Okay, so now I gotta do basic request, new contents, you, save. You are a request, yes? Yes. Basic provide. You are a provider, yes. New contents, boom, save. Basic multi-provide, reading the train contents, sending it to this. That's sending the filters to these. That's all correct. Yes. Basic multi-provide. Select. Save. Okay, good to go. Then we need to change our is it? Oh, 2 strong side and 2 weak side. That's what it is. Strong side, small side. We gotta change these ones to be click, click, click. Click, click, click. Wait, what? What? Is that the wrong? Hold on. This might be a like optical illusion situation. Yeah, I put these behind. I didn't put those where I thought I put them. That actually goes there. Okay. Right there, there, and there. Okay. Sorry, we're getting there. So we actually want it here. And here, here, here. Okay, there we go. Oh, but now this one's gonna get in the way of that one. No! I just can't win, can I? There, there. I would love... Oh, and that just fully gets in the way of this situation. But see, I wanted to keep that square open. Maybe I put him there. I wanted to keep this square open for station control. Station control to Major Tom. Alright, we're just going whole hog, changing this 15 times. It's fine. So this goes next to the signal. That one scooched forwards 1. So now that's powering the combinators. We don't even need this one then. Oh, well, that's even more convenient then. Cool, I only need 2. Haha, we've accomplished something great. Definitely makes it worth it. All right, so all we needs to do is scooch that forward 1. And delete the other one. Alright, a whole new world of blueprints for Krydax. A new fantastic point of view. And because I'm not streaming on Twitch, there's no one to tell me no, or where to go. Alright, I believe I've fixed all the things, so now we need to re-blueprint them. Basic request. This is the Zen Garden experience. It's what you guys signed up for. And if you're 103 episodes deep, or whatever this is, basic provider... I think you probably enjoy this. And multi-provider. You certainly will have to do things like this in your own Pi playthrough, if such a thing is what you're doing. Okay, did I fix both of these? I did. Okay. So then we've got small side is this one. Strong side is this one. And then we've got 6 that are gonna be over here. Okay. So now we need the provide version to... That's not right. Oh. Is it this one? Yeah, that's the right one. So is this... Why is that not... I guess it needs power to show... Yeah, it needs power to show that it's filtering. Weird. Anyway, or do I... I turned off alt mode. Wait, no I didn't. Yeah, I did. Alt mode's off right now. That's why these looked weird. I thought the cybernetic combinators looked funky. It's because you don't normally get to see them, because they always have the icons on top of them. I had alt mode off to look at the Ulrics, and then we got distracted. Okay, cool. So I did update these, right, to the 2 power pole version. Yes, so those are done. So now the weak side, the small side, is this one, I believe. Because if we were looking at an actual system, yeah, that's the small side. Okay. So, and the reason I want to have both is, especially if I have a 2x1 city block, there really isn't a small side, you know, if I'm putting the station towards the middle of the city block. Or heck, I could do a 2x2 at some point. And then I'm gonna have, you know, stations all around the edges. Anyway, so we want both of these to be possible extensions. So I need to make a bunch of new blueprints. So there's gonna be, oops, wrong button. So there's those 2, and then there's basic provider. Wait, these are requesters? Yes. So now we're gonna do basic provide station. 1, 2. And then we're gonna do multi-provide. 1, 2. And then we need a copy. And my only sadness is that I have bonitis. No, it's that we unfortunately can't merge the chests because merged chests don't support rotation of the rectangular entities. I would love a version, and I should probably look at the settings before I claim it doesn't exist. I would love a version of merging chests that allows you to rotate them, and it would force you to only have symmetric. Like this setting, maybe I should turn that setting on, but I'm doubting that would allow me to rotate the chests. I would hope for a world where if you enable this setting, then you could. Because there's a world where you set it up so that you can do wide but not tall chests. Like, you could set it up that way. And that's why, or at least that's one of the reasons why the mod doesn't support rotation, is it's possible to have a 1x6 and not a 6x1. But I would prefer a world where the mod forces you to have, if you have a 1x6, then you also have a 6x1, and then you can rotate with them. I would love that feature, because then you could make your blueprints with merged chests already. All right, so that goes there. Wait. No, hold on. These are not filtered. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna preemptively hook that up, and I'm gonna say enable disable based on something. And I can parameterize that later. For now, I'm not going to. And then this is providing on channel 1 by default. Okay. And then this one is loading in. It's not filtered, it's reversed, and it is hooked up to the chest, and it's enabled disabled based on something. Okay. And then for multi-provide, this is where things get interesting. If I'm multi-providing, I know I'm gonna have at least 2 inputs. So I probably should support, this is where I come back to that question. Do I do this and then split it before we get there and then like do the crazy, you know, squiggles, or do I just have 2 belts come in the first place? You know? I guess if I'm multi-providing, we probably don't need 2 full belts, and honestly that might be more UPS than just splitting. The problem is this new power pole. Who knew? The power pole and the signal mean I can't any longer do this thing. That's okay. I'll do this. It'll make the station as a whole slightly larger, but... And then we'll pick the filter when we get there. And then we need to hook both of these up to the system. And then we'll do the same thing, but mirrored over here. With this one. Okay, and then we need this belt to be the same on this part. This is gonna save us so much time moving forward. Like I can't even tell you. This is gonna be amazing. Took a few minutes now, but so freaking worth it. All right, and I might do a separate book for this. Do a separate book. Which means I need a separate book. Hold on. All right, well, let's make the book. We'll call it Stations. Or Stop. Ugh. I really don't like, I think I've said this 100 times by now, but I'm gonna keep beating this dead horse. Clicking out of a UI element should not delete your progress without a warning. That's what the escape button is for. If you want to delete what you've typed, you should have to go looking for that possibility. It shouldn't be the default. And there's no confirmation. So you could do a bunch of stuff. You could type a whole description and you could accidentally click over here. Boom, it's all gone forever. The same happens with the parameterization window. It's very annoying to me. I actively think that's a bad feature, and I very much disagree with devs if they say that's how it should work. I don't know what they actually believe. I don't know if someone has argued for it. I don't know if it's just a feature they haven't added, because there are other things that do cause you to confirm before you escape out of it, and I don't understand why some of these windows don't. I don't know if it's an engine limitation. Like, I'm not saying anybody's bad. All I'm saying is I very much don't like that, and I think it should be a different way. And so therefore, if it's intentional that they're like, oh, we don't want to add that feature, that clicking out of it saves it or creates a confirmation window, if that's the case, I disagree with that. I just think it's really annoying. I've never once clicked out of it and had my stuff erased and been like, oh, thankfully that didn't save what I typed in. I've never thought that. It's always been the opposite. Because if I did type a bunch of stuff and I'm like, I don't like my changes, like, I would probably click that button. Or again, if you're already getting uppity in the comments because Krydax has a strong opinion and you have a different one, then hear me here when I say the best option would be if you click out without hitting the X or the confirm, it should ask you, save or discard your changes. There should be a little pop-up because there's already a window that does that. I don't remember what it was, but it was in the last episode or two. I was doing something and I clicked out of it and it asked me if I wanted to save my changes or not. And that is all I'm asking for. That should exist, but it doesn't. And I dislike it. Anyway, so within the train book, I think I want like 2 books. I would put the stations book inside of this, but then they're all gonna, it still scrolls through the books inside of the book, so you need to make them parallel books rather than nested books. Anyway, so this is gonna be the like rail sections part. Anyway, I don't mean to be complainy. It's just a feature that has bit me in the butt and erased my progress a lot of times, and I just don't understand it. I don't understand why it is the way it is. Again, it could be an engine limitation, or like we haven't figured out how to do it yet, or we haven't thought it's a big priority yet. Like all of those, if those are the answers, then that's fine. Like I can accept that. I just really hope the answer isn't like, oh yeah, we talked about that as a dev team, and we actually prefer that it just deletes your stuff when you click out of it. If that's the answer, I'm not really happy with that answer. Now, I'm not a dev, so it doesn't really matter if I'm happy with it or not, but I'm also allowed to, you know, voice my concern as a user of the product that I don't think that's helpful for the game. It's definitely not helpful for me, and I think a lot of other people would probably like to have a confirmation window. Anyway, I'll stop ranting about that. I just needed something to talk about while we do this, so, you know. What's an episode of Pi without a Krydex rant? And Helmod's been pretty good to me lately, so I haven't had anything to rant about, you know? So we had to rant about something. I mean, come on. Give the people what they're looking for. Anyway, I am still having a great time. Don't worry. So now I just need to make the new ones. I call that train stops. Rail sections and train stops. Perfect. Okay, and then this is the book that I want to be there. Okay, so then we've got the requesters, and then the rail extensions. We're just going to need a new version for each. Oh, and I also need a version for fProvide and fRequest. And then the super trasher, I might just leave it the way it is for now. And I'm supposed to use the super trasher when I'm multi-providing byproducts. What if I'm single providing a byproduct? Do I need a super trasher? Have I solved that yet? Like if I have a system that's making 1 or 2 products and I have biomass as an output and I don't need the biomass. If I just have a single byproduct, have I figured that out yet? I think I haven't, but I don't think I'm going to use the super trasher. I think for a single byproduct, I will just do the solution where we turn on the cybernetic combinator. It starts out on channel wait. Oh, sorry, that's a requester. I was like, why is that on channel 3 by default? Okay, a provider is on channel 1 by default. And I'll do the thing where I just add 2 to the A value when we cross a certain threshold of the item. So for single provider byproducts, I will do that. And then the station will turn on to the trash network when we have enough stuff that we want to trash some of it. And that way we always have some built up, ready to send to normal requesters when they're hungry for it. So that's easy enough. And then we'll obviously make those higher priority stations. So I just haven't made the station for it yet. I probably need to. But none of these fit that need. But what we do have a need for is the fluid provide and request. So we don't have to make those as complicated either. So then basic F provider and basic F requester. And we'll put those, I'll just have them all facing strong side by default. And then those don't need to be filtered, but they do need to be parameterized. Because this is a provider, so this output will tell me. And then I need the input to be connected to here, not to these. I've made that mistake multiple times now. I'd like to stop making that mistake. And then I'd like to put power poles in their respective positions, which is 1 behind and 1 away. I won't quite be able to do, but I should be able to do that, which accomplishes the same thing. Okay, perfect. behind and one away. There and there. Okay, and now this one is the requester. Let's do 24,500. Let's even make it closer. 24,800. Like, I don't need to be that far off. And then it requests on channel 3. And then these don't need... These just need to be filtered, but not enabled disabled. I want to actually remove that part, because that's just confusing. These are always enabled, but they're just straight up filtered. And I want to go left to right, 0, 2, 1, because that's how these go. Or 0, 1, 2. So this should be 0. This should be 1. This should be 2. That way we're consistent. And then... this actually is going to bother me too. It should go left to right, not right to left. So I apologize to anyone that was freaking out about that. You can now rest easy. We're going to do it the same way on both. Like that. And then... that way we're set up pretty well. Now, hold on. Now I've confused myself. These don't need to be connected to the wiring. At all. Because they're filtered. So it's just the request itself needs to be hooked up. I'm going to connect it to that by default. Maybe on both. Because that's to the output. So the input needs to either go this way or this way out to connect to a tank. Should I fit tanks internally? I mean, the short answer is like yes, but no, because the problem is I'm gonna sometimes want a really big tank to hold stuff. And sometimes I'm gonna want just a small tank. And sometimes I'll want to request less. So I think for now, I'll just keep it tankless. Okay. Oof, this is a longer episode than I anticipated because of all these train reworks, but I'm really happy with this. Just to copy the icons, I'm gonna keep a couple of these. So... what do I do? Create copy of this. Basic request. Strong side. Or what is it? Big side and weak side? Strong side and weak side. Strong side and small side. Oh. Well, they're both S. That's unfortunate. I don't know what symbols to use. They're gonna be right next to each other. It doesn't even matter. Strong side is greater than. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know if having another symbol is more helpful or if it's less helpful. I think it's less helpful. I just think not having another symbol. All right. So we'll call this strong side request station. Create copy, small side. Request station. So the strong side request station, let's go all the way to the left, is this one. And then this is the small side request station. Boom. See, and what's so nice about this is now I can just like boom, 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 right? Like that's so nice. It's so nice. Maybe I should start parameterizing them too. We'll do that in the next episode if we want to. Thankfully that's easy to add. It's not like I need to do that now. So then I need provider, make a copy. Make a copy. Strong side provider. Small side provider station. Right click, select contents. This is the provider station normal style. Yes. Boom. Small side provider station. Boom. Okay, and then this is multi-provide. Create a copy. Copy. Blueprints. Strong side provider station. Oh, strong side multi. Okay, multi-provider does not have a dash, it has a space. And then this is the new small side. Okay. And then we need these two, and then we'll be done. So F provide, select new. No. Cancel. Make a copy. Make a copy. I mean, this is pretty similar. It's just F provider extension. I guess I should have named these all extensions rather than stations. Maybe I need to go back and change that. Also, what did I name this station? FP. Okay, perfect. Fluid provide. And that is fluid request. Perfect. Okay, so I think the last thing I want to do is rename these to request extension. Rather than station. Cool. Provider. Multi-provider. Extension. Multi-provider. Extension. Alright. Sweet! So now, after all that, I was just trying to figure out where to make CO2. And I was thinking I wanted to make it here. And now, this is going to be as easy as pie. I just want... Well, do I have a fluid provide already? I have no fluid provide. So all we got to add in is the F provider extension. Control-Shift-Click. One of them is going to be carbon dioxide. Make sure we find the actual fluid. That was... Did I do that right? Carb? Why is that? Oh. Space. Yeah, it's the one with the temperature. Yeah. Okay. And then that should get fixed properly. I'm going to need another RoboPort here. So we provide the carbon dioxide. Oh, we already have a requester for biomass. Perfect. I don't even need another one. I forgot I was smart about that. We are requesting and providing biomass in the same spot because we knew we were going to get biomass as a byproduct from other places. And that way we're not spending wood to produce biomass if we don't need to. Oh, I'm so glad I did that smartly. So now I basically am mostly there with the CO2. I just need to add a bunch more of these, maybe on this side. So, cool. I probably need to call it an episode. We will get to that in the next episode. Let me put that in our task list. Finish CO2 provide wood. Okay, we'll do that. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.